Day on 27th of April 2024. With this, I would definitely be requesting Samarth Pathak to take over. Sharu, can we move ahead? Or is our screen frozen too? Yeah, over to you, Samarth. Please take over from here. All yours.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Dhillon. And again, a very warm welcome to the educators who have joined in. I call it the Rise Up for Peace family. Your support to this effort, collective effort, is very heartwarming. We started out in February. I'm just saying this for the new educators who have joined in, and also for our new experts and Paloma, who has joined us from Vienna today from the UNODC headquarters. We started out in February, and since then, this has mushroomed into a new umbrella initiative, bringing in new educators, new educational leaders, fostering a lot of cross learning that we are seeing over the last few months, and very importantly, collective efforts in schools, in different institutions, involving young people. So I call it, the three-pronged approach. One is capacity boosting and cross-learning among educators, which is very, very important. And we see that a lot as a family. We are seeing a lot of student-led initiatives, students coming to the fore, taking action through their skills, through their expertise in different things, receiving our knowledge support. And third is a lot of documenting of actual good practices that are happening, not just in schools only, but a lot of activities happening across the board. We are seeing increasingly a lot of collaborative activities. Some examples I will share with you is, of course, the great artwork that is coming in, which is going to be used as advocacy material by UNODC. We have already started sharing some of those updates. We will continue to do that, in the coming days and weeks from each of the entries that we have received. We are seeing a lot of peace assemblies in schools, which is very interesting. Pledge drives taken forward by educator leaders. Other interactive activities, taking place in classrooms. And also, of course, a very interesting Run for Peace event that happened in central India, last month. So a lot of activities taking place, videos coming in, posters coming in, and students actually rising up for peace. So we are very happy. And now what we are doing is, of course, collaborating more. We are there to also share our own expertise, our tools. You have already received, I think, the YEA framework that we have at UNODC, some creative material from UNODC. And we see a lot of educators actually reaching out to both, Kamala Nehru Public School, Ms. Dhillon, ourselves at UNODC with requests for sessions in schools. So we are always open to that, very happy to do that, and also very importantly, give a platform to educators, educational institutions, and students to showcase the work, to promote the work, and to amplify what you're doing around SDG 16. So in the coming weeks, in the coming months, there'll be a lot more activities, a lot more programs that we will do together, and especially involving young people, whether it's in person, whether it's hybrid, whether it's even virtual. But we are looking at doing a lot of those activities as well, besides the capacity building boost that we are doing for each other. There's a lot of learning, and it's very important. The one other quick update I want to share is that there is increasing, I would say, spotlight on all of us, not just from UNODC. We have a lot of UN agencies in India and in other countries asking for, what are the updates? What are you doing under this? But also from the governments, we are seeing a lot more responses. I was recently, in India at the Ministry of Education, and they were so happy to see the kind of work that is being pushed in. So a lot of, good things are happening, and we just have to amplify them more, document them more, which is something that I'm pushing for. Maybe we could, come up with a way in which we could, put them up on, one particular source, which we are already doing, but we can always think of that as a way forward. But really, thank you so much for your efforts, and we are really looking forward to do more things. Now, I leave it. One last update is that we are also now doing some in-person, educator workshops, in-person activities with students that are already being shared, and that is another way of, going forward. We'll be happy to share more updates on this front with you as we move forward. Paloma, just for your information, we are all also connected very strongly online over a WhatsApp group as well, and regularly sharing the updates with each other. Today we have Paloma with us, who is from UNODC, and the idea of having her on board is because she's right now looking at mainstreaming these educational efforts that we are doing, these youth involved engagement activities that we are doing across the board within UNODC, but also with other UN entities. So there's a lot of interagency coordination that is happening within the United Nations, and Paloma is, responsible for that. So we're very grateful to her. She'll share some insights. But this is it from my side. I hand it back to Ms. Dhillon now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samarth. And now we invite Paloma for the expert talk. Over to you, Paloma, please.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share the slide that I have prepared. Let me see. 1 second, please. Thank you for your patience. I think there was an issue, and for some reason I was exited from the meeting. Let's see. Perfect. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you very much for your kind introduction. It was a pleasure to hear all the activities that are happening there in the region. Thank you, Samarth, for that very comprehensive overview of RiseUp4Peace and the initiative and all the amazing work that you have been doing for the past couple months. And I really hope that it gets bigger from here. I think it's a great initiative, especially focused on SDG 16, which is one of our core SDGs, or one of the core that we are promoting. So it's great to hear that. As our presenters today mentioned, my name is Paloma Munne. I work at the Strategic Planning and Interagency Affairs Unit within UNODC. I'm based here in Vienna, so I say good afternoon, but for some of you, it's already good evening or good morning. Today, I will talk about youth empowerment here at UNODC, but also I will share some insights of our work regarding the Sustainable Development Goals. So without taking any more time for presentations, I will go straight to business, and I want to share a bit about UNODC's mission. Some of you might be aware that UNODC works to contribute to global peace and security, human rights and development by making the world safer from drugs, crime, corruption, and terrorism. And how we do this is through offering technical assistance, research, and normative support to member states in order to help them to find comprehensive and evidence-based solutions to address some of the most complex challenges that our world is facing. We have 5 thematic areas, so we work to address and counter the world drug problem. We work to prevent and counter organized crime. We work to prevent and counter corruption and economic crime, and we work to prevent and counter terrorism, and we work in the areas of crime prevention and criminal justice. So we have 5 thematic areas, but we also are committed to mainstreaming human rights, gender equality, youth empowerment, and disability. So this is a very brief overview of our thematic areas, functions, and mission. And as you might know, this is very related and linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. UNODC mandates advance several of these SDGs, and we have a dedicated website where you can access through the QR code on the top of the slide. And there you will find a lot of information in terms of how UNODC's work is contributing to the SDGs. We have a publication that we launched last year, and we will update it this year. You can access through in the top says UNODC and the SDGs. There is like a full document that links all our work per SDGs. And if not, you can go below at the bottom of the page and you can access to information specifically to the goal that is of your interest. Here it's a very comprehensive overview, so I invite you all to go take a look on what is our work and how it's supporting the SDGs and advancing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Not only we work to advance the SDGs, but we also are custodian of several SDGs indicators, including 11 indicators on SDG 16. What does it mean? Is that we aggregate, for example, national data sets to generate global data sets for the monitoring of the SDGs. We produce stories for the annual Secretary General report on SDGs. We develop methodological standards to improve monitoring of the SDGs. We provide technical assistance to countries to provide to improve their reporting capacity. And for example, all this work has been, as a result, we have now some publications. For example, we launched last year the Global Progress Report on Sustainable Development Goal 16, and there it shares the progress and the gaps that we need to address in terms of achieving SDG 16 for 2030. You can access also to this publication through the QR code, and I invite you to check it because reading this kind of knowledge materials help us understand where are the areas where we need to improve, where we can support, where we can develop new initiatives that address these remaining gaps. So I think that using these products that are out there will help us to understand what we can do better in order to achieve SDG 16. It's also a great tool for capacity building, for educators, for government agencies, for everyone around that is interested in SDG 16, in understanding what are the gaps, where are the things that we have made significant progress and what we can do better. So I invite you to check that publication as well. And now I will go straight to talking about youth and the sustainable development.
I think you're muted, Paloma, just now.
Oh, that's very strange. Thank you very much for telling me. Okay, today Teams is acting very weird. I promise I didn't touch anything. Okay, so I was saying that I will go straight to youth and the sustainable development goals because I think it's something that we are all here to talk about. And what I wanted to share is, as you may know, young people are referred to the torchbearers of the SDG 16 or the champions of the SDG 16. We have 1.8 billion people, young people between the ages of 10 and 24 in the world. So this is about 90% of this population lives in developing countries facing several challenges. So young people are leading political, social, economic changes in their communities, but they're also facing, as I said, significant challenges and risk. So one way or the other, this generation of young people, this biggest generation of youth, it's the most impacted for us delivering the 2030 agenda. They will benefit if we achieve the 2030 agenda, or if we don't, they will suffer the consequences. So I think it is crucial that we involve young people as partners, not only participants in the implementation of the 2030 agenda. And I think this is the key message that I want you to go away today, is that we need to understand that young people are partners in this endeavor, not only participants, not only beneficiaries, they are leading. So let's take advantage of that, but also let's involve in those initiatives where they are not yet being considered partners. So what we are doing here at UNODC when we refer to youth empowerment, well, we want to empower and engage first young people in all its diversity. We need to recognize that young people, it's not homogeneous group. Young people have diverse identities, and that's crucial to engage them and in all our projects and programs. Capacity building, it's key in these endeavors. If we want young people to be leading initiatives, if we want young people being those agents of change that we always mention, we need them to have the skills and the knowledge to do it. Sometimes it's just they have certain skill. We just need to give them more opportunities, and in strengthen those skills that they have. So what we are doing here is involving young people in problem solving, uplifting their voices in decision and policy making spaces. We are working with youth, not just for youth, meaning we are leading some initiatives with them. And we are involving in every step of the programmatic cycle, not only when we are talking about designing an initiative, but also when implementing and when evaluating these initiatives. We have launched in 2022, in December 2022, this Youth Empowerment Accelerator Framework, what it's called the YAI, and it's the main point of this presentation today. This umbrella framework affirms UNODC commitment to youth empowerment, which has been included in our UNODC strategy for 2021-2025. It is in line with the UN Youth Strategy, Youth 2030. The UN system has this umbrella strategy for all UN entities and part of the UN system. And so this umbrella framework that we launched in 2022, and we are promoting today, it's part of these endeavors of meaningfully engage young people in our work. This framework has two main things. One is that maps our current activities, youth-focused activities, and the other is that provide concrete youth mainstreaming actions. So here I have, not sure, probably like the letters are pretty small, so I'm not sure if you will be able to read all, but just to tell you that this is kind of a map of most of the activities that we have on youth in different thematic areas, in our 5 thematic areas. So we have several activities for addressing the world problem, countering transnational organized crime, countering corruption, countering terrorism, and in the field of crime prevention and criminal justice. Going through each of them, it's not the goal of this presentation, and it will take too much time. But let me tell you that, for example, we have not only RiseUp4Peace, which is a great initiative that we don't have yet in this mapping, but we have initiatives such as Generation 30, which is it's an initiative that involves young researchers working on trafficking in persons. In our global trafficking in persons report, we have in the past two iterations of this report, we have involved young people that were in the early stage of their career working on researching in trafficking in persons. They have come up with their research and have been integrated in our global report. We have initiatives such as GRACE Initiative, the Global Resource for Anti-Corruption and Youth Empowerment. This initiative has a youth-led integrity advisory board, a group of young people that are constantly advising in how we can further engage young people in our anti-corruption work. They lead several initiatives, workshops. They have been leading consultations in every single region of the world, pretty much. They've been doing an amazing job. We also have, under this initiative, Coding for Integrity youth hackathons, where young people gather together and develop technological solutions to address anti-corruption issues in their communities. We have, for example, the Global Initiative on Youth Crime Prevention through Sports, which use sports-based programming to address, to fight crime and to build resilience against crime and violence for young people. We have several initiatives, including Stride Juvenile Justice Initiative with Youth Peace Champions in Nigeria, leading youth-led campaigns, awareness-raising campaigns, and we have several initiatives. So it's not the point of today's presentation to go through all of them, but just to tell you that all these initiatives, most of them contribute directly to advancing SDG 16. So here, if you go through that QR code or through UNODC.org youth, you will find a lot more information that I just shared on our youth-focused initiatives. And we have also launched a publication that it's called Youth at the Heart of UNODC's Work Towards the Sustainable Development Goals. This publication also share some of our youth-focused initiatives and link them with the Sustainable Development Goals, how they contribute to advancing all the Sustainable Development Goals. So these resources are not only good to see what we are doing, but also to understand how the work that we do to counter trafficking in persons, to counter terrorism, to address corruption, those contribute to, small things contribute to advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. So now as I said earlier, we have the YEA framework. One thing that does is that map those youth focused activities that I was talking, but the other thing is that it offers some youth mainstreaming actions that we are currently facilitating and other new actions that we will be developing in the coming years. One of the main actions that we have here is that we have a youth community of practice. We have a network of youth focal points, which Samar is one of them. We have youth focal points here in headquarters and also in different field offices where we all gather together to discuss some best practice, to share best practices, to learn from what we are doing in different regions of the world, to share some updates and to keep each other in knowing what's going on across the house and how we can collaborate, finding those opportunities to collaborate through this community of practice. We also have several interagency coordination mechanisms through which we collaborate with other UN entities. We have a UNODC Youth website that I mentioned. A few of the resources are within that UNODC Youth website, where you will find not only the YEA framework that was shared with you earlier, but also information on all the initiatives, some web stories, some resources. There is a lot of publications that are linked there on different aspects of youth issues. So I invite you to check out the youth website. There is also an opportunities webpage there where you will find a calendar where you can see where we have some events upcoming or which consultations are going on that young people can engage and participate. We also facilitate youth participation in the ECOSOC Youth Forum, which has have the latest ECOSOC Youth Forum last week in New York. This ECOSOC Youth Forum, some of you may be aware of what it is the largest UN Youth Forum across the UN system. It gathers a lot of participants in person in New York, but also online. And there is every year there is like different review of discussions surrounding the SDGs. This year, one of the SDGs that was reviewed and discussed was SDG 16. So UNODC co-organized this thematic session where we discuss rebuilding trust in institutions, where we discuss conflict prevention and violence prevention. We discuss the youth participation in elections. There was several topics that came up, and young people sharing some best practices on the work that they are doing, and also raising some issues on how we can meaningfully engage young people in the work that we do on SDG 16. UNODC is also part of the high-level steering committee and the joint working group for Youth 2030, which is the UN Youth strategy, that I mentioned earlier. We have not only a UN system strategy on youth, but we also have some mechanisms where we gather together and we discuss how we can better implement this strategy and what things we need to do better, what things we are doing great, what are the best practices that we can share, so all of the entities can also take advantage of that. So this is some of the youth mainstreaming actions that we are doing here at UNODC. And what we want to improve, or what we want to enhance for the next couple of years, is youth programming capacity building. We know that we need all our personnel to have the necessary skills and knowledge to promote meaningful youth engagement, to promote the youth peace and security agenda, to understand what are the protection constraints and the protection aspects that we need to take into account when we engage young people in our work. What we want to do is also to have more young people involved in intergovernmental processes. So increase youth forums. Youth forums have become like a platform where young people are increasingly engaged in intergovernmental processes. So we have one of our longest forums is the Youth Forum on Drug Prevention and Drug Use Prevention along the CND, the Commission on Narcotics of Drugs. And in this youth forum, we have we celebrated this year the 12th anniversary. So we have some best practices and a baseline to involve young people further in the work of other commissions, such as the Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice and other intergovernmental forums happening in the UN system. So I'm happy to share that, for example, we are going to achieve the one goal that we had for this year in terms of involving young people in intergovernmental processes is that we are soon launching in the next CPCCJ, the next Commission on Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice, and now in May, we will launch a new youth UNODC initiative, which has a youth network that will be working on crime prevention and criminal justice, and they will be engaged in the upcoming crime congress. There will be leading consultations. There will be deciding basically what they want to do from now on. That is the launch of the initiative to 2026 when the Crime Congress takes place. This youth network will be really leading this initiative. They will be deciding what are going to be the initiatives that they will take forward. And there's a lot coming on along that angle. So I'm happy that this idea of like meaningful engaging young people in intergovernmental processes is starting to take shape. We also committed to launch a new social media where we can engage further young people. We understand that UNODC, we have a Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. Sometimes it's not the platforms that young people are using these days. So we are trying to find alternative solutions where we can really engage young people through social media as well. Well, I don't want to keep talking and talking. I prefer to give space to questions and to listen from you. What are your takeaways from this intervention? And I'm happy really to answer your questions. We can discuss more and we can learn more from each other. So I give you a big thanks to you for listening today, and for the invitation, of course, to the organizers, to my colleagues, UNODC there, and the beautiful partners that have been leading and pushing this initiative forward. So thank you very much, Samarth. Back to you, or to the other colleagues that are there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Paloma, for your insightful remarks. I invite Ms. Dhillon to take over.
Thank you, Samarth. I believe there was a question. I just saw it. Can we just, I saw it drop down for her.
One question that was actually put in the comment box was, very interesting, from Mr. Bharat Kumar. Mr. Kumar, if you're there, why don't you just unmute and ask this question directly? Mr. Bharat, maybe you could ask this question directly.
Allow karu ki kya karu? Allow teams to find, connect, and determine the relative position of nearby devices.
Ravinder Singh, I believe your mic is on. Would you please, RS as we call it, would you please switch it off? Team, look into it.
Right. So I'll just, in the interest of time, I think Mr. Bharat is not here. I'll just quickly ask the question that he asked, which is Paloma, what if we try, we want to improve peace, and we want to work on violence and all of that, but what if people around us don't, agree? If they are not agreeing with us, what do we do? So how do you sort of tackle this? Would you like to take
this?
That's
a good question. And I think often we face this situation where we want to do better, where we want to do more, but not everyone is on the same page and don't really understand why it's important to meaningfully engage young people when we want to do initiatives and when we want to work for peace. So I think like one important thing is to keep the discussion ongoing, is to try to find the angle where we can collaborate, to try to sit together, to explain once more, if not, why we are doing this, why it's important, and perhaps through this discussion, open discussions, bringing different people, different stakeholders to that discussion. I think like sometimes just takes time. It's about not losing that hope and just continue the conversation ongoing. Sometimes it's about making small steps, small initiatives that give people like the idea of say like, oh, look, this how well it played, and could we do something similar? And indirectly, they are contributing to peace, and they don't know that contributes to peace. It's just it's finding the way, but I think it is about also involving as many people as possible in the conversation. I think that's I would say it's one way to go.
That's very helpful, Paloma. And actually, I was under the impression that this is from an educator, but actually it is from a young person. It is his son, Vedant. And for this, I would just like to add one thing, that Vedant, peer-to-peer influence matters, and you are a young person. You, out of everyone, should never lose hope. We all have to build the future that we want to see, which is peaceful, which is inclusive, which is just. So as Paloma said, keep that work going on. You don't look at it from changing the world immediately. Even if you can help one young person around you or two young people around you, you can help a friend in need, if you can stand, even, for example, if somebody is getting bullied around you, if you can stand and help the person, who is getting bullied, or if you can sort of create a network around that, or create solutions, small solutions around the problems that you see around yourself, even that is enough. We have to start. But very interestingly, we have a huge network of people behind you. We have UNOD, you have UNODC behind you, you have the Rise Up for Peace family behind you, you have your school behind you. So we are all standing in support of your efforts. Take one step and see how it goes, but never lose hope.
Okay. Thank you, Samarth, and thank you, Paloma. It was so nice listening to you. We came to know about all the programs which UNODC is running to empower youth, and rightly said, if youth is empowered, and if they are the one who are supposed to lead and take care of this earth, obviously empowerment becomes a priority number one. We understood what is this YE framework, YEA framework, the Youth Mainstreaming Action, Youth Community of Practice, UNODC Youth website is there. And then we also understood the work to counter terrorism, counter corruption, human trafficking, and drug prevention. So all this was, I'm sure we have been updated, and together with UNODC, we feel so strong, and I'm sure miles to go. December is far ahead, and by that time we'll be doing so much. So thank you, Paloma, very much, and thank you, Samarth, for connecting us with Paloma. So all thanks. Yes, Charu, we can move ahead with the next phase. I think we'll be having the newsletter now. Okay, it's all right. In the meantime, we also learned about prevention and criminal justice, leading consultation, a new launch which is there for the youth and the Youth Congress, which is going to happen. So much is there in store, pleasant things happening around. Yes, please. And I'm sure Charu is on her job. Thank you, Charu, for taking up. So in the meantime, when I was going through this newsletter, when we were going through the virtual art gallery, it was so encouraging. Children from around all the schools, they participated, the quality of work, their thought, everything is par excellence. So thank you, my dear boys and girls. Thank you, educators, for leading from the front and guiding your children to understand what SDG 16 is all about. The moment you're ready, Charu, you can go ahead, please. Okay. So, yes, please. I see so many of, yes, we go ahead. I believe the internet is playing naughty there, but that's what technology is all about. It really humbles us down. So this art gallery has all the work of the students, and we've kept it school-wise. And I believe now Charu has requested Amandeep sir to take over. That's so good. Yes, we go ahead. So thank you very much for this wonderful newsletter, the art gallery, which has been prepared. Nisha, thank you so much. Beautiful work by the students from all over the globe, from schools everywhere. We presented it activity-wise, and then that's why the name of the school was coming time and again, different schools was coming. And also in the end, we just wrote students' work, the reason being we just never knew which school the child was from. Somehow the name was not written, and that's how we put it over there. In case we have missed any picture, any work of a student, please let us know. We can always add it. This is an e-newsletter, but then it takes time to compile up. That's why we fix some targets, some deadlines. Thank you very much. We loved your collaboration and contributions. And now, without much ado, let's see who is the educator spotlight of the day. Ming, Ming, please come over. She's from Taipei Wanfu Elementary School, Taiwan. She's Winnie for all of us who know her so well. Yes, Winnie, you can go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm very honored and privileged to be offered the opportunity to come here to share and to learn. It's as usual, as always, be inspiring to join and meet all the great global friends here. So thank you so much, Paramaji, for inviting me to be here. So like I mentioned, you are the mother, Earth, mother planet for us to launching our SDG. So all the SDG warrior. So you have been given us a very great example and high standard. So thank you so much. So I'm very honored to share what I've been, learning and also doing at my school as a little like a humble cases from my school. So let me just be patient a little bit. Let me share my screen. So I'm very happy that that is my screen. Do you see my screen here? Is that
yes, we do.
Okay? Yeah, thank you so much. So I think after expert Ms. Paloma mentioned about the youth program. So what I've been working is that I'm the primary school teacher. So I've been learning and dealing with the very young learner. So when we talk about SDG 16, so it's like a vast, a huge map. Sometimes I will feel that how to start and where to stop. But right now, and also during the session, I think that our young student, Kuma, asked about what should we do? So I think maybe right now I'm offer some humble idea that maybe we can start from here, because I think the youth, like Paloma mentioned about, is the torch barrier. But before we become youth, the little children are more important, very important. They are our core foundation of the future. So when we look up the SDG 16, I think there are some policy or principle that every goal counts and every step counts and even everyone counts. So what we need for achieving the SDG goal and where to start. So let's take a simple review about goal 16. So it's about peace and justice and strong institution. So we need to promote peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development goal and providing access to justice, right? So for me, it's a very simple, the three basic core idea that we need to provide a safe and peaceful, inclusive environment for our young children. So what is peace? So when I review this simple definition, so it suddenly gives me an idea that it's about peace. Usually when we talk about promote peace, it's about the war, right? But it's not about the war. It's something about a state of mind, achieving your personal well-being and also your state of mind with others. So it's a harmony about being peaceful with yourself and with others. And also, what is peace? You need to attain the state of balance where everyone coexist. So from the Great Art Gallery, we see that coexist is a very important concept without conflicts or wars. So justice is an inclusive system that ensure equal opportunity for everyone. So children are free from any form of a discrimination or bias. So that's why when we talk about how to achieve the SDG goal, you don't need to start from the beginning because the SDG, they are all relevant, right? So I think what we need for our young youth and also our foundation children. So I think that's the basic, I think for me as an educator, facilitator, it's very important that you teach. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. We need to promote the safe agency of the young kids. And also, we need to teach the kids. We must teach the kids he is loved. So for the kids, young children, they know that they are loved. When they are being loved, so only under the circumstances, we can promote peace and also justice. So in other way, be the change, what do we need? We need to change our aspect to see things from different angle. So just like this is a plain water, right? So what do you see in your perspective? It's a half of an empty glass or half of a full of a water. So this is about how we educate our young children to see things from different perspective angle. And also be the change. For the peace and justice, what should we need for our total barrier? So this is a cultural iceberg, right? So let's think about right now, Russian, Israel. It's all about some different belief and different religion or different history background. So that's why, I mean, as an educator, facilitator, we need to educate our young generation to see things dig more under the surface. So be the change. What do we need for that? As a school educator, this is a strategy. Right now I'm sharing with you very humble cases from my school. So I think first thing, we need to build up understanding about cultural diversity. And also we need to build empathy. We see things from an empathetic way. And also we need to empower knowledge for our young generation to take action. So understanding, we can create the state of mind, well-being of ourselves, and being peaceful with others. And building empathy, we can promote different perspectives, just like we see the different glasses, see things from different angles. So we can see different culture with tolerance and breaking up stereotype, no bias. So definitely we have a knowledge. So young generation will to be empowered by taking action to solve the problem or to help. So definitely, I think we want to achieve the justice and peace. We need to take care of our young generation, their mental health. I think that's very important. And also give them the education, quality education. Yeah, that's definitely. And then when we want to achieve a peace and justice, definitely, I think empathy is quite important. And then we can see the world to be partnered together, understanding and with tolerance. So this is in Taipei, in my country. So as I mentioned about, so we want to achieve the peace and justice. Definitely, we need to nourishing our young generation, children. So children are our future. So in Taipei, in my country, April is the month of the children. So in April, right now it's April, right? So actually we have been one whole month, the city opened up for all the children and parents, so they could access the big city as a classroom. So our mayor and our education department, our government try to change our city government into a learning place, a playground for parents and children. So which means that we offer all the children and the parents the free ticket to go to the museum and to do the different organization to learn. So we encourage the parent to learn together with our children. So also we support our young children to let them believe themselves. They are in power. They could dream big. So the government, our government even have a fund for them to give them financial support, to give them take their dream project action to the action. So some of the project will be about like they want to take care about the elderly, or they want to take care about the stray homeless pets. So there are lots of things to support our children to fulfill their dream, to feel empowered. And in my school, we celebrate Children's Day on April 4th. It's a special day for children. So we celebrating these children. We have a play day for our students. So we let the student to take the ownership of their learning. So they could change our school into a big, market. So they could sell what they want to sell. Like some of the students making soap to sell, to do the fundraising for wild animal, bear, and also they cook in the classroom. They sell their dishes for fundraising. So for all kinds of a charity event. So this is the day the student could feel like empowered. They could be, do everything they want to achieve. And by not only doing that, in Wanfu, our community is a multilingual community. So every month, you can see that our school have a different, like a student coming from different multilingual background. We have a student from Indonesia, Philippines, and even in India. So we have a special month for them to recognize, and all the school recognize their language, their mother tongue, and also their culture. So this is a multicultural month. And not only by recognizing our own culture, we also want every student to recognize themselves, to cherish themselves. So this is a activity we call giving meaning to your name. So you can see that in this drawing, our students try to express themselves by things they love. And the purpose is that we want them to have a build up their self-esteem, love themselves. Remember the first thing we mentioned about a peace, a state of mind to have a good well-being with yourself. So this is an activity we try to educate the kids to understand and love themselves. And by not only by doing recognize themselves identity, we also building empathy by meeting pen pal from the globe to understand different diversified culture. But definitely we educate the kids to understand and cherish our cultural heritage. So this is the program that we also have combining library reading program. We invite different ambassadors and different parents from different cultural background. So understanding the world, the more important is that reading the world. So this year, my school is a very pleasure to have a pen pal with Marshall Island and also Israel. So this is a very special learning opportunity for us to learn from this different country. And this is a program that understanding our culture by speaking and teaching India. Yeah, we have an opportunity to work with the pen pal from India. So our kids trying to teaching them Mandarin to understand that how beautiful our mother tongue it is. So our students very happy to learn speaking English and also teaching India pen pal to learn our Mandarin. So this activity recognize their self-esteem. And also by meeting Marshall Island friends, we share different culture. We share our a Chinese cultural calligraphy, and Marshall Island also share with us about their beautiful indigenous people singing. And by this program, we also learn about that we are different. We have a different culture, different holiday, different festival, but we are the same because Marshall Island and Taiwan are the same. We share the same threat, climate change. We are island. The sea level uplifting damage the, doing the threat to our island. So we have the common goal to work together. And by working with Israel, we know that many from newspaper that there are different voices about or different political stand about Israel. But by meeting our pen pal from Israel country, we know that they are teacher, they are suffer that they lost their young son. And also the student in Israel, they are just the same like us. The children like to play. The children praying for friendship. So by meeting our pen pal from Israel, we understand that we are different, but we are the same. We all want love of a peace, and we all want friendship. So this is a very important for all of us to learn that we are different, but we are the same. So we also have the great honor to invite Israel ambassador to our library to bring lots of cultural item and introducing their Israel like a Passover, different holiday festival to our students to broaden our student mindset. And also we invite ambassador and our student to write down best wishes for future and the pieces wishes for people in need. So it's a great event. We actually have the opportunity to meet people from different culture. So this is we think that as an educator, I hope that this my sharing will answer Kumar your question that how should we do. So I think we could start from like understanding different culture and learning love ourselves. So this is the poster our student draw, deliver the pieces to the world and people in need. So especially most comforting is that recently Taiwan has been, hit stricken, terrified by earthquake. So just before I come here yesterday, early morning, 3 o'clock, we had a severe earthquake. But luckily, me in this place is good. But thank you, for love and wishes from India, Paramajiman. And also I have a friend from India, Israel, Mexico, Japan, Indonesia. They deliver love and warm, wishes for us. So this is something I call before we achieve the justice and peace, we need to love ourselves. And by understanding our friend, understanding, expanding our worldview about the world. So let's just keep in mind about how to promote sustainable goal 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. So to make it sure that we want everyone to feel that have a state of mind of a well-being with yourself and with others. And also we want the place, no matter where you are, your school, your family, your country will be a safe and secure place for you to live. So thank you again for giving me this great opportunity to share the humble idea from an educator from Taiwan. So I would like to thank you, extend my gratitude, and also to people in need that you are not alone, we are together. So what should we need to promote peace and justice? I think there is a simple way that I could conclude that all we need is love. So like in the beginning, as an educator, what I mentioned, if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. So we must, as educator, we must teach our kids about love and let the kids feel loved. Once he feel loved, he will promote peace and justice everywhere. So thank you so much. So let me just have this quick three idea from my side: understanding cultural diversity, building empathy, empower our future young generation with love, and let them feel they are empowered to love the world. So thank you so much. Thank you, Paloma Munne, for inviting me and here to learn and to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Winnie. It was such a wonderful presentation, and the way you expressed everything and the way you talked about Israel and how you all took up the reading challenge to take this friendship a little further. And we are very, very delighted, honored, and we feel very, very happy that you have been a spotlight educator and you're promoting peace in a big way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Over to Amandeep. Amandeep, we can start now. This is the newsletter. That was the art gallery. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, dear friends, for this wonderful newsletter and the art gallery, which have been prepared by members of the team Rise Up for SDGs, Rise Up for Peace as such. Thank you very much. And now we move on to the activities which have been structured, which we need to do it by the next month. We can move ahead. The various activities I'll take up one by one. And in case you have any doubt or something, we can always deliberate and discuss it further. So activity 1 is multilingual stories for peace. It's embracing SDG 16 together. So we share some traditional folk tales, legends, or personal narratives, and we can see the details and we can move on. So record your story, 45 seconds. Yes, please. And activity 2 is all about, shall we move on? So it's preparing a SDG 16 real challenge for Rise Up for Peace, uniting for a world free from conflict. So craft a 20-second reel on No More World Wars, 2 are enough, in support of SDG 16, and share it with us. And how to participate, you have to upload this reel on the Rise Up for SDGs Facebook page. The next activity is activity 3, and it is about festivals and peace, AI posters. So create an AI generated poster using Adobe Express on the theme SDG 16, festivals and peace. Activity 4 is all about create flying objects bookmarks for SDG 16. Create a unique bookmark featuring flying objects such as airplanes, drones, parachutes, doves, and more, all connected with Sustainable Development Goal 16. So we go ahead, and then comes activity 5, which is all about photo stunt. SDG 16. So origami cranes we need to make. We'll be sharing a video in the group in case you're not aware, or you can look for it, how to make an origami crane. And it is recognized all over the world as a symbol of peace. So let's make peace cranes to raise awareness of SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. And then we click a family pictures with everybody holding the peace crane and promoting peace, justice, and strong institutions. And please share it in the Wakelet. Activity 6 is all about magic of music. So we're going to sing for peace, singing for peace. So students, educators, parents, grandparents to share their voices and passion for peace by singing 4 lines of any of the song in their preferred language related to peace. Whether it's a classic ballad, an uplifting anthem, or a soulful melody, do anything, a song from the film, anything will do, but all of us be singing for peace. And everybody can participate. It's a community coming in here. Activity 7 is apology letter, heal and reconcile. Sometimes there are differences, gap of communication, unintentional hurts. So for that, let's write an apology letter, heal and reconcile to foster understanding, empathy, and reconciliation within our school community and beyond. Let's write a letter to someone you have hurt or wronged in the past. And this could be a friend, family member, teacher, anyone else whose life you may have impacted in a negative way. So we go ahead with this writing, creative writing. And activity 8 is all about Minecraft template for SDG 16. Let's create a world. 4 Minecraft worlds featuring templates centered on SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions designed specifically for classroom teaching by educators. This is the second topic which is there in a concept note, teaching of SDG 16s and ways and means. So we felt our students can guide us better. We move on to the next activity, and that is activity 9. This is again the newsletter cover design on innovative teaching methods for SDG 16. So I think it's Sarla Birla Gyan Jyoti School, whose cover has been put on the second newsletter as such. So congratulations to the school and to this. And again, for the next newsletter, let's see who would be taking up this. So the best original creative work would be selected to be the front and back cover page for the 3rd edition of RiseUp4Peace newsletter. So no plagiarism, please. So activity 10 now is combining up, which is limited to us, and we're going to combine all your activities and put it in the newsletter and the art gallery. So RiseUp4Peace, Way Forward, Educators Monthly Dialogue Series, Teacher Spotlight to continue. Youth Focus Interactive Dialogues and SDGs. We'll have Youth Spotlight also, surely this time, because some schools in different countries had not opened up, so we thought we will do it. And then, of course, the podcast series on SDG 16 are due. Roundtables to be hosted in partner school, government institution to ideate and discuss incorporation of SDG 16 in education. Here, it's a proud privilege and so thankful to Samath. Ladies and gentlemen, the first roundtable conference is being held in Kamala Nehru Public School. So there goes an open arms welcome to each one of you. We'll be live as such, and we would love each one of you to come and join us. I'll be sharing the invite in the group, and so much to do. We'll be having Samath visiting our school for the first time. We'll be having officials from CBSE and NCRT. So that's very, very happening thing. And apart from this, what we are working, we are going to share. I'm going to share what we are doing in our school now is a 5 days festival, RiseUp4Peace Festival, where every child, my 1,500 plus students are going to talk about peace, and they have done up their classes, and it's comparison. They studied, they researched status of peace in different countries, human trafficking in different countries, crime, what's happening around. So different structured activities, rather topics were given, so they had the elbow space and they could do whatever they want. And this is all art integration, so it's visual art, it is performing art. So we'll be having everything done, being there in the classroom. Schools, the neighborhood schools have been invited, and we'll go live. I'll be sharing the details. You can say we want to witness grade number 9th class classes as such. So we'll share the time with you and we'll take you to those class 9. If you want to go move to a classes of grade 11, we'll take you to the grade 11. So when we're taking a tour, we'll take you to various classes. So please, in case you need, you're welcome to have a virtual tour of this Peace Festival, which is very close to our heart. Moving on. Validation, commendation. I'm sure you must have got your certificates, signed by Samarth and Marco, the top notch of UNODC from India. I'm sure Samarth is going to tell a little more. And partner for peace, country peace ambassadors have been taken care of in most of the countries. Some countries are still left. And then global peace ambassadors, yes, we have to work on this. And SDG 16 champions are none else but our wonderful boys and girls who have been contributing and collaborating for all these activities. And yes, as we move ahead, it is call to action, spread the word, and then we can still register, people can join us. And the present number is 657 educators, and we have 27,841 students who have registered, and then schools and universities registered are 230, NGOs of 41, countries registered are 36. So lots of fun as we move ahead, and lots of activities and lots of working for peace in letter and spirit, and all action there. And for any details, we can always connect with Samarth Pathak, and of course, I'm always there. Samarth, the final word, the closing line from you, please.
No, not at all, ma'am. As we all saw, some very inspiring work that is being documented. One comment we saw in the chat box, and I just wanted to take 2 minutes on that, which is that a lot of work happening virtually, and is anything happening on the ground? So with all due respect, we are doing a lot of activities, of course, virtually, because virtually opens up, our physical, space restrictions. We are connecting a lot more with each other, but that is not at the cost of in-person activities. We are doing a lot of work with different schools, collectively, individually as well. The idea is that every month we meet for this virtual educators dialogue, we exchange ideas, we get to know what is happening where, and it serves as an inspirational platform for us to take ideas and carry them out in our own educational institutions. So we are there, Ms. Dhillon is there, of course, KNPS team is there, and all of you are there as experts who can also help other schools in conducting these activities. I always have said this in all of our virtual activities, that we are very open to support your schools, support your students in exploring SDG 16, not just for advocacy and awareness. Of course, arts, music, and the other work that we do is, of course, on advocacy and awareness, but students are going beyond this. Students are going into communities and working on community-related issues in person. They are co-creating solutions in terms of tech. We have students who have previously developed with us online games against misinformation. We have had a lot of inter-student engagement, interfaith, mixed group interactions also. And students are actually developing social initiatives, building community networks, promoting messages on peace and the rule of law in different ways, creating gender equality networks, creating anti-discrimination and bullying networks. So there's a lot that can be done, a lot that is already happening. And for that, UNODC stands in strong support. We have the resources, we have the experts, we have the knowledge base, and all of this is available free of cost. So we look forward to actually connecting with your students, with your young people. We are, of course, developing capacities of educators, but for student-related activities, please connect with us. We would love to conduct in-person or hybrid activities with your students on SDG 16 and related themes. So for the youth spotlight, for example, that we want to start, soon, it will be great if we can conduct some sessions with different students, with your schools, with your young people on the particular theme for that month. And based on that, students could develop their own interventions, not just limited to advocacy, but also, social initiatives, tech initiatives, etc. There's a wide canvas out there, which we are already tapping in. But I do invite the entire RiseUp4Peace family to take this forward. We will be sharing our updates on our in-person activities as well with you for the forthcoming, sessions. So that is one thing that I just wanted to, share there. This is a very strong, ideas platform from which we all should seek inspiration. We meet every month, share good practices here, talk to each other, get to know what is happening elsewhere, and then implement them or, get ideas from that to do something in our own school settings or our own individual settings. So that is our commitment. We will continue to do that. And besides that, of course, that a glimpse of that you will see in the roundtable dialogues that we are going to do with different educator partners and government partners. It will be right now limited to India, but we are always open. If you can convene educators in your areas, in your countries, we can always join virtually and sort of do something. So that invitation always stands. In fact, that is something that we will encourage. We would be happy to guide you on what we are doing with these roundtables so that you can maybe replicate it with your areas. And Ma'am Dhillon, myself, and other UNODC experts would be very happy to join in virtually as well. So a glimpse of that you will see, just in a few days when we come to the Kamala Nehru Public School in Phagwara. We have some government officials with us as well. And a very interesting thing is going to happen, and this will be continued elsewhere. So please do start thinking of such roundtable activities that could be conducted only with educators. We are limited to educators right now for the roundtables. So suppose in your area, if you can convene locally, say 70, 80, 100 educators, and share good practices with them, talk about the challenges they face, talk about the opportunities, and we connect virtually. That will be done. But a lot of in-person roundtables will also be happening. So now with that, we come to the most important part of this session, and you know what it is. We always do this. This is the photo op that we do at the end. So again, I gave you 1 minute, exactly 60 seconds to do up your hair, figure out the best frame that you have, and we take 2 photos. I would request as many of you to switch on your cameras, but in case you're uncomfortable, that's also okay with us, but we would like as many of you to switch on your cameras, please. A lot of people figuring out the best lighting, the best angle. We'll just give it 2, 3, 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I know that you have the perfect angle right now. All right, so please look towards your camera, hopefully with a big smile. And we'll take 1 photograph, just 1 second. Please look into your cameras. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so this is photo 1. You all are aware of the next pose that we are going to make for this one. Just 1 second, please. All right, now an action. So I leave it to you, what action you want to do. I have learned one thing from my sister this time, which is the heart, this heart or this. So anything you would like to do, please make up a pose, and we'd be very happy to click a pic with this. So I'll give it a victory sign, all right, or a thumbs up. Okay. This one. I see hearts already. Ms. Bharadwaj, you're not making any. All right, I see a thumbs up now. I'm going to start calling on people. All right, so 1, 2, and please look into your cameras. 3. Perfect.
Samar, sir, See, if we do this way, it will be shaped like as we have the bird as a symbol over there, rise of peace. See.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Rise of
peace.
Oh,
like this.
Bird.
Sure, sure. We can do that. We can do that. It'll be a little tough for me to take the photo with this, but I'll try. All right. So, all right. On public demand, we take this pose, the dove. That's a good sign. Paloma, would you do this?
Yes, yes.
All right, excellent.
Bird,
so,
bird flying. See,
yes. All right. Excellent. See, that's how good ideas come in. 1, 2, and 3. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you so much. It is yes. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so with this, the formal meeting is over, but the informal one continues. If anybody wants to say something, please go ahead and speak. So that's it. Mohammed was there, and time and again he wanted to say something. Mohammed,
sorry.
Lots of messages.
How do I read? I'm not seeing this. I've updated and
I'm seeing new features. I don't know what's that.
In fact, it's even now I'm seeing camera and all that. The former one, there's nothing. Have I raised?
We can hear you. We can hear you. Why don't you